Ahoy there, everybody! Welcome to our video review of the Blacklist Season 8, Episode 11. You people thought we were joking.
Pirate had promised, Pirate had delivered.
Shiver me timbers, Captain Kidd be in this episode. And okay, I'm not gonna wear the hat for the full video. This is not gonna be 100% ridiculous, but let's just...
Is it not? Why did the pirate go to the Apple store?
Why?
Because he needed an eye patch.
Okay, see, this is the thing with this. We thought, when we did the pirate hat jokes, we were sort of like, I really hope there's actually a reference to pirates, because then the entire setup we did is just going to be incredibly stupid.
And we were actually really excited to see the comments from you guys, because normally we're pretty serious on these, and in real life, we're like this. So it was kind of cool to see you guys in the comments being like, pirate hat, pirate hat. So we're just like, oh man, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, we can be a little more goofy in this video. And for those of you who were like, I'm not into the pirate hat, I think there was one of you, it will not be every week. We are just having a little bit of fun today.
We are going to discussing Captain Kidd's booty. Well, this is the thing about that. Captain Kidd actually did had some booty here and there.
Yeah, and they did have a pirate reference.
Yeah, they had to seek it out. They had to find it. So I feel like the pirate we got our wishes, mateys. Okay, all right. We're tired of the pirate hat now. Okay, well, if you guys enjoy this video, because we are going to talk a lot about that Reddington Cooper conversation, maybe a little bit of the friend from the East stuff, Reddington.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is.
Subscribe to the channel. We have Blacklist discussions all the time. We're going to have a preview before too long for what is coming up on an episode entitled Reddington.
Yeah, and be sure to follow us over on our Instagram at MattandJessTV. But before we actually really get into this, we have a question for you guys, and leave it first in the comments. We want to know what other shows you guys are watching that are like currently on the air or coming up or something like that. We want to continue to sort of expand our coverage here at the channel, and we want to know what else you guys are watching and what else you're really enjoying that maybe we're not covering.
Yeah, we always want to cater this channel to the people who are enjoying it, and so yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and if there are other things that we are actually covering, let us know that too. So what other things you like.
Okay, there's a couple of different places we can really dive off the plank here with Captain Kidd, but I think that conversation with Reddington and Cooper, the confrontation we've been waiting for, that has to be the top story.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is just Cooper feels very confident that he knows pretty much everything. And I mean, he doesn't. He knows some stuff, and he knows important stuff, but he doesn't know the whole picture. And Reddington tried to tell him, listen, like, you do not know everything. You think you do, you don't. But Cooper is very stuck on this idea that Reddington is N13, which I think he is, but I've gone into my theory before that I think he's a double agent, and he is N13, but he's working for America. And I think that Cooper doesn't know that part of the equation. So when Cooper's like, listen, I know you're N13. I know you're selling secrets to our enemies. I know that this is happening. It was really good to see Reddington be very straight with him, because that's not something that Reddington does. He doesn't lie, but he doesn't tell you everything. But right here, he was very, very straight and said, for the record, I am not a traitor. I do not sell sensitive information to our enemies. Point blank, period. He doesn't do it.
That was one of the most clear declarations we've ever had from Raymond Reddington. Like, this is a guy who usually you ask him a serious question and then he'll be like,
remember that time that I was doing this?
Yeah, he'll just go off on some tangent, but he straight up answers this directly. We've already kind of established a lot of what Reddington's sort of code is on this show, and I think that response to Cooper, it has to be taken very seriously. And I think Cooper, his thing is, he's very good at what he does. Like, he's a very competent assistant director. He's got a lot of experience. You know, he's got a history with Reddington and all of these things. But I think Cooper, because he's so good at his job, I think he's sort of like, I got this figured out. But it's like, there's always a job that's more difficult than anything you've experienced before. It's sort of like you get to the end of the video game and you fight like the first part of the final boss, but then you realize the final boss has like sprouted 2 more heads and has now got like a new weapon they're coming at you with. And it's like, this is much more difficult than anything you've experienced before. I don't think Cooper is prepared for that like next iteration of the final boss here.
No, and I think that there are people that are more powerful than him that have more information than him. And that's been part of my theory. I think that Reddington is part of this task force, but that he has connections to people that are higher than Cooper, and that Cooper is sort of overseeing this team, and that this whole task force and whole team and whole Blacklist are all intertwined with what is going on with sort of the movement of information.
What I like about your theory especially is it leaves something open that can still be explored later, because we gotta meet whoever, if there is somebody higher up that actually knows this information. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that congressman that we saw not that long ago. What did I call him? Congressman Dude or something? Like, yeah, I don't think it's Congressman Dude. I don't know if it's Panabaker, because I feel like Panabaker, from what I've seen, I feel like she would just I'm going to start spouting off this, that, or the other that I know.
Maybe, or she's just going to play dumb about it, because if she is involved and she has more information, she's helped put together some stuff, then she's not going to say anything. Because if we look at Reddington, if he is sort of this, I was N13, but I am working for America now. I am continuing to work here, but we have to pretend like everything is okay over here so that they don't know what's going on, and I can continue to funnel this information back to America. Like, there's so many different balls in the air with this that people have to stay quiet. And with Reddington staying as quiet as he has, he won't tell Liz anything. He won't tell Cooper anything. Nobody knows anything. I think there's got to be somebody higher up in the American government that knows something, and that's who he made the deal with to come in.
Okay, is this where I express my beef with Cooper in this episode?
Do it.
Harold, you know, I love you. We're obviously on a first name basis because I just called you Harold, but yeah. Okay. You know, I'm not mad, Harold. I'm disappointed because you said a few episodes ago, oh, we're going to charge Elizabeth Keene. We're going to really,
put out an arrest for her.
We're going to hold her feet to the fire. And this episode, you're just sort of like, I think we need to be on Team Liz here. Make up your mind, Cooper. Like, come on. You are accomplished in your job. You can't be so wishy-washy with this.
I think the problem for Cooper, I'm not on a first name basis with him yet, is that he has been living in this gray area for so long, and he has accepted that bad things are going to happen to be able to get to the end goal of what he wants. And he's let criminals get away with stuff for so long. And he's let Raymond get away with things for years, that I think we've seen sort of this progression of him moving out of the gray area and starting to move into more of himself. Where do I actually stand on this? So we saw with Captain Kidd that he was kind of like, no deal for him. I am not bowing to these criminals anymore to be able to get something else. He is going to go down for this. Then he has that conversation with Reddington where he's kind of like, I am just sick of this. Like, I am over this. Yeah. No to you as well for everything kind of thing. I think he's just having such a hard time that then when he gets out of that, he's kind of like, listen, I am now Team Liz. I'm not dealing with these criminals anymore. I am over this now. And he's kind of overlooking that she has committed crimes. And even though she was an FBI agent, she is now committing crimes.
Cooper is dangerously close to just going full lethal weapon. I'm getting too old for this. Bleep, like in the middle of this season, because Cooper needs a nap. Like, that's really what Cooper needs more than anything else at this point. Like, you are frustrating me, Cooper. It's fine. I'll get over it. But
And I think he's frustrating himself. I think he's been feeling pissed off with himself of where he is and where he's landing and what he's letting slide, and he doesn't know how to really get a handle on it. And this episode especially, there was stuff that he thought he had a handle on and he didn't, and he's really over it.
Clearly, yeah. Cooper, Harold, I'm sorry it's been going so bad for you. Yeah, we're on the first name basis again. Okay, well, we're gonna move to Dembe here because this may not be super new information, but I just like reiterating every now and then Dembe sort of telling Reddington, it doesn't have to be like this. You know, you're making these choices. You could tell people, you could stop this. Why doesn't Reddington listen to Dembe?
I think I'm still dying on this hill of my theory. I think that whatever Reddington is doing, he has said it's a 30-year project. The man from the East has said, I've known Reddington 30 years. Like, this has been going on for decades. And I think to just listen to Dembe and say, okay, I'm just going to stop it all now. There's clearly a way bigger picture that affects way more people than just him. And the more that Dembe sort of talks this way, the more I'm starting to wonder how much Dembe actually knows. And I know that he knows quite a bit about, you know, a little bit about Liz, quite a bit about Reddington and sort of that whole thing. But then when it comes to this specific thing, if Reddington really is N13, but now sort of a double agent working with America and all this stuff, Dembe may not know that part of it. So when Dembe's like, listen, you have the power to stop all this, why don't you just tell the truth? He's going with the information he knows, which may not be everything, where then Reddington has to be like, I'm sorry, you don't know everything, so I can't.
This is one of the first times, like, this week where I've really actually thought a lot about this. Because I think, like, naively, I've just sort of felt that Dembe probably knows everything. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Why?
Until this week.
It's sort of like, I don't know why I'm doing so many analogies, but it's almost like they're at a car dealership.
I know why you are.
And, well, yes. Okay, well, they're at a car dealership. Ultimately, Dembe has all this information about this car. He's really excited about it. He thinks they can go ahead and drive it off but Reddington knows that it doesn't have any airbags. And for whatever reason, like, this is obviously something that changes the entire process, but Reddington isn't cluing him in on this information. It may not be a lot that Dembe doesn't know, but it could just be one or two things that make Reddington feel very strongly that if he takes this advice, and if Liz or whoever he tells does slip up and say it to the wrong person, then it's just everything's over.
And we know that Liz can't keep a secret to save her life. And even the same, it's not keeping a secret, but Cooper has told the whole team about the drive. Like, the secrets are not staying secret. And if that's the whole thing about it, I mean, Reddington knows that if he tells no one this secret, then it can never get out. And that's just the way it is. The more people that know, the more likely they're going to be in danger. They're going to tell somebody else. They're going to end up dead. And if he just doesn't tell anyone, then none of that happens. There is a bigger picture happening here. I feel confident.
I feel confident too. And we talked even about this a little bit before coming on, that, you know, one of the interesting things about this season is, yes, Reddington's identity is still important, but I think this season has been a lot about why is Reddington doing what he is, and what does the idea of Reddington represent. And this has been an interesting way for them to extend the life of the show without making it feel like it's just stretching so thin that it's about to break every second. I know some people already think that it is, but
the Who is Reddington mystery, they dragged that on too long. I know some of you guys out there feel that too. I feel it as well. I wanted them to just wrap that up and then open up what they're opening up now, which is this huge mystery of something else that's even bigger than who is he. But they didn't wrap it up. Instead, they just opened up this whole other mystery.
Okay, this is a good transition into that final scene with Rekeaton, who is apparently actually named Andrew Patterson, and I now know why he goes by Rekeaton. Andrew Patterson sounds like an accountant. This is a lot more intimidating.
Yeah, and there was a very interesting conversation where he's starting to be, you know, I'm being followed by the FBI. Reddington doesn't seem to be worried about it. Like, I don't know what's going on here. And he's bringing all this information to the man in the East, who seems like he's not really that bothered by it in some ways, maybe because he already knows about it. And if my sort of theory of Reddington turned himself into the FBI to build this task force, be part of this task force, is maybe the cover to be able to give information back to the man in the East. So he may be like, I already kind of know about this, but now it's getting out of control. It was working for a while. It's not working anymore. That kind of feeling of it. And just isn't cluing in Andrew about this whole thing because he's just too low down for that.
Are you on a first name basis with Reddington?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We keep interesting.
Me and Andrew.
You and Andrew.
You and Harold.
Yeah, me and Harold. This is apparently who we're all inviting over for the next game night. But
so we had the man from the East.
Yeah.
Tell Andrew Reddington that he needs him to just take care of Cooper because it's gone on too long. He knows too much. But there's a part of me that's kind of like, okay, he's not the only person that knows. And if you know that Cooper knows, then you know that Aram knows. And you know that Wrestler knows. And you know that Park knows.
Yeah.
So you know that everyone knows. So if you take out Harold,
welcome.
Does it actually do anything? Because there are multiple people that know about this now. And it doesn't actually stop anything.
Well, that's what's so interesting to me about this friend from the East whole mandate here of, you have to go and do this because Reddington, the reason why Reddington doesn't kill Cooper beyond whatever sort of relationship he has with them is that if he kills Cooper at this point, given everything that's already out there, everyone's probably going to assume that he is the one who killed Cooper. It blows up everything.
Yeah, there was a moment where the man from the East says that he's unwilling, that Reddington's unwilling to kill Cooper. And then he corrects himself and he basically says, not unwilling, he's unable to.
Yeah.
And that was the moment that I was kind of like, okay, I think the man from the East knows that he's part of this task force and that he's using the task force to give him information or get access to more government information, something like that. That this is, like I said, a very delicate balancing act of things. So once he said he's unable, I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe he does know. He's like, okay, I can't get Reddington to be put in this position because it's going to blow up a line of information. So Andrew, you're up.
I think it is.
Arrgh.
So we're getting to Captain Kidd here in a minute. Don't you guys worry. But yes, I feel like the man from the East is aware that Reddington is really trying to toe a line here. I mean, it may be on his mind as well that, is he really on my side? Maybe he is sort of second guessing things somewhat, but he's smart. He sort of recognizes, okay, I might need somebody else to do the job at this point. Granted, I do just say he's smart, but at the same time, like you said, other people obviously know about some of this information. I don't know if the friend from the East thinks that there's just going to be some schmo who just gets promoted to assistant director who will be like, Aram, Wrestler, Park, you're off the case. We're going somewhere else. I don't know if he can buy a new director.
Yeah, I just don't know. And even if he does tell them to stop, will they? Probably not. This is such a huge deal. So I just think there's too many people that know for the man in the East to just take out Cooper and replace him with some schmo and be like, all right, problem solved.
I really hope we get more information on this friend from the East guy soon. Like, he's interest is weird. We had a little bit of him, we had a little bit of Townsend, but we didn't really have enough, I think, of either one of them to actually make a huge impression this time around.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know enough about them. We know some, but we don't know enough.
All right, here's your 5-second Liz Keene update. There is no Liz Keene in this episode.
Yeah.
Moving on. Here we go.
Here we go, Captain
It is
Kidd.
time for Captain Kidd to read. There we go. I don't know how to put on a hat. Okay. Yes, the hat is not probably on properly, but you know what? We're 19 minutes into this video.
If you're still watching, thank you.
Ahoy! Okay. Captain Kidd, first of all, why do you look like young Jimmy Palmer from NCIS?
Oh, right?
Yeah, at what point is he visiting, like, the morgue and, like, talking to the bodies? Like, this is what I really want to know.
Yeah, I mean, the Captain Kidd thing was, he just kind of feels like a person who's just doing a drop on stuff. And it was okay.
How dare ye?
Oh, right.
Okay, no, Captain Kidd was fine. The thing was, I couldn't, based on the start of it, I couldn't really tell, how old Captain Kidd was actually supposed to be.
Yeah, I thought he was, at first, maybe 20 or 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're looking for someone who's 29 or something. I was like, what?
Maybe Captain Kidd just has sort of a young appearance. His name, but even his name, Captain Kidd, I was like, are they doing some sort of weird, here's a kid pirate who's dropping off goods to people?
I don't know.
I didn't really get it, but you know what? Ultimately, it's fine. I don't think we're going to be seeing that much more of Captain Kidd in the future.
No, but it was interesting to sort of see that Townsend is still moving along with business, and it wasn't, I was wondering if this was all going to be really connected to Liz in some sort of way, and it really just turned out that it felt like he was just moving along with business.
Yeah. Here be the real lesson of Captain Kidd. It was okay, Townsend wanted something, Cooper wanted something. Nobody really gets anything. This is yet another episode where they're just sort of circling the wagons and nothing actually gets accomplished.
Yeah, it was really interesting to sort of see that come up where we did see that they finally got Captain Kidd. Reddington shows up. He's like, I'll go in and help you, buddy, old pal. And Cooper's like, no. You're not helping anybody with anything. Have a seat. Only I'm speaking to him, because they both needed him to get to Townsend. And then neither of them got anything because they're no longer really working together, but they're not. Halvesies is over.
Wait for it. Maybe the real Captain Kidd be the friends we made along the way.
No,
okay,
no,
see,
no,
all right,
no.
we're done before
0
Jess
out of
leaves
10.
the video. Let us know, what did you think about the Captain Kidd mateys?
No.
Okay, share in the comments, and if you do like this video, subscribe, give us a like, and support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon. Thanks for not walking the plank and enjoying this video.
And for our Patreon, if you guys are still watching, we actually have a video coming up this Sunday. So if you are part of our Patreon, you're part of that tier, you can leave us questions and we will answer them in that video for our Patreons.
We be seeing ya next time.